Jamie Foxx's Girl Talks on Jamie being incapacitated and blind. Jamie Foxx's girl Corinne is standing up on the upsetting reports that her father was left incapacitated and blind after his new unexpected problem. I'm feeling confounded. I'm feeling lost. I don't have the foggiest idea where to begin. I don't have the foggiest idea how to complete things like now. I want an alternate type of misery, yet stunning news reports are circling about Jamie Foxx's ailment, guaranteeing that the entertainer has lost his sight and is to some degree incapacitated following a thought stroke. Yet that is not all. James' condition was as of late examined on Ask Dr. Drew, and Dr. Drew's visitor recommended that Jamie's extreme difficulty could be connected with the coronavirus immunization. Jane had a blood coagulation in his cerebrum. After he had the chance, he didn't need the shot. Yet the film he was on, he was compelled to get it anyway. Fans are currently getting down on Dr. Drew for selling paranoid notions and being discourteous to Jane's little girl. And the remainder of his family, Karen, is supposed to be exceptionally irritated about these new reports. And she's currently clearing up everything on James' genuine circumstances. So what did Corinne say about Dr. Drew's remarks? Did Jamie's health-related crisis truly leave him deadened and blind? His unreasonable feelings of trepidation and contemplations and fits of anxiety and things. Appreciate that it's been very nearly 2 months since Jamie Foxx was hospitalized in Atlanta following a baffling, unexpected issue. And over these recent months, we've heard such countless clashing reports on James' home, beginning with the absolute first update that was shared by Jamie's little girl Corinne under 24 hours after his hospitalization. In a since-erased Instagram post, Smile shared that Jamie encountered an unexpected problem the other day and added, fortunately, because of speedy activity and extraordinary consideration, he is as of now en route to recuperation anyway. Following half a month of consistent media hypothesis, a few outlets detailed that James' condition had deteriorated and that the family is getting ready for the most terrible. However, at that point, only days after the fact, the story took one more turn when Corinne chose to share one more update on her Instagram story, asserting that James has been out of the clinic for a really long time and was at that point previously playing pickleball. Update from the family. Miserable to perceive how the media goes crazy. Corinne composed, "My father has been out of the medical clinic for quite a long time recovering. Truth be told, he was playing pickleball yesterday." Anyway, fans were befuddled by Corinne's explanation, since supposing that James truly left the clinic weeks prior and was feeling sufficiently amazing to play pickleball, why didn't the family say this immediately? As opposed to allowing the sensationalist newspapers to go crazy for a really long time. At any rate, on May 15th, TMZ revealed that James was for sure let out of the Atlanta medical clinic anyway. He didn't get back and was rather moved to a restoration office in Chicago that works in stroke recuperation. In addition to other things for the accompanying a long time, there were no reports on Jamie's well-being. Anyway, Dr. Drew just reignited the discussion on his show. While conversing with that visitor, James was left deadened and blind. On Tuesday, May 30th, Dr. Drew facilitated tattle reporter AJ Benza on his show, and Benza made a progression of hazardous cases about James' condition, recommending that James fostered a blood coagulation in his mind. In the wake of getting the desired immunization, Benza guaranteed that Corinne Foxx's assertion about Jamie playing pickleball was totally bogus. And he additionally said the message shared on Jamie's Instagram didn't truly come from him, since it was all baloney. Yet they were announcing he's playing pickleball. He's answering on Instagram, "No, he's not. Individuals do that for you. It's all untruths." Benza additionally asserted that somebody near the circumstance let him know that Jamie would have rather not gotten the sought-after antibody anyway. He was supposedly constrained to get it done so he could keep recording his film back in real life with Cameron Diaz. And as per Benza, James fostered a blood coagulation in his mind subsequent to getting the shot. "I had someone in the room who let me in on that Jamie had a blood coagulation in his cerebrum. After he had the chance, he didn't need the shot, yet the film he was on, he was forced to get it. This film he's doing with Cameron Diaz. Benza likewise proposed that this could be the genuine justification for why James purportedly had a total implosion on the arrangement of back in real life, in practically no time before his hospitalization. And I'm believing is that why he exploded on the set 7 days before this health-related crisis happened. Is that why he discharged 3 or 4 individuals, since he just had it with these commands? I don't know. Benza then proceeded to say that his insider source let him know the blood coagulation left James, to some extent, deadened and blind. What I determined from the man in the room was that the blood coagulation in the mind made him by then be somewhat deadened and blind, since, in such a case that you read into what they were talking about right off the bat, he's speaking with us. That doesn't mean talking, that could be whatever it very well. Maybe composing quietly I realize those little code words. And afterward, when pickleball offer me a reprieve as per Benza, there's a huge work to conceal what is going on the grounds that even TMZ quit covering James' condition. After Corinne shared her Instagram post, guaranteeing that Jamie is feeling adequately amazing to play pickleball, even TMZ isn't detailing this. And I realize TMZ has got sources in medical clinics who give them data regardless of whether it's lawful. Dr. Drew then, at that point, said that in the event that this is valid, and Jamie truly fostered a blood coagulation in a conduit, prompting his cerebrum, this would have decimating results. And it's improbable that Jane would have the option to play sports. It's a stroke, it's a blood coagulation in a vein that removes the stock. That piece of the mind is dead. And it has intense results. It relies upon where which corridor and what the life structures that courses to which parts of the mind, whatnot. Yet it isn't something that definitely, consider this. Is he still in the medical clinic? Is that will be that what I should accept and playing pickleball? AJ Benza likewise expressed that in proclamation about Jamie been out of the emergency clinic for a really long time was Balony. Since that is obviously not the case, gracious, the girls are doing the representing him. His most seasoned girl, Corinne, is doing the talking. She said he's been out of the clinic for a really long time, yet that is false. He's at a generally excellent emergency clinic in Chicago who spends significant time in this sort of recovery. Now to be, it's conceivable that Corinne was alluding to the way that Jamie was let out of the Atlanta emergency clinic anyway. Her explanation about him playing pickleball is certainly odd. Benza likewise brought up how different celebs have requested that fans petition God for Jamie. And in the event that Jamie was truly sufficiently sound to play pickleball, it's far-fetched they'd request supplications. Each companion who comes out, whether it's Kevin Hart or Scratch Gunn, or whoever, all expresses appeal to God for Jamie. He must traverse this. No one emerges with incredible news. It's dependably dismal brain. You both, Benza and Dr. Drew, said conceivable James' condition was brought about by post-want disorder, and not really the immunization anyway. When Dr. Drew asked Benza for what good reason what is going on is covered in such a lot of secret. Similar as Damar Hamlin's new well-being drive, Benza offered something's most certainly away in light of the fact that nobody's permitted to discuss this or pose any inquiries. But we're continually being barraged with refreshes about Jamie's well-being and being approached to keep him in our requests. And besides Damar Hamlin, are both of them, I imply, that was likewise covered in mystery. How truly do individuals get to reality? And what do they envision they're doing by not coming clean, gracious you? Look as a columnist, and I'm not a rehearsing columnist, however much individuals who compose these days, yet they will be there towing a line continually with this sought-after stuff. Nobody figures out reality. Nobody's permitted to discuss it, except for how did Corinne respond to AJ Benza's cases about Jamie's condition? And is there any reality to these reports about Jamie being incapacitated and blind? Well, Corin was spotted last week visiting Jamie at the Chicago Restoration Center along with other relatives. So we know without a doubt that Jamie actually hasn't been delivered concerning Benza's cases that Jane lost his sight. At least to some degree, incapacitated sources near Karen would not verify or refute this. And they just said that Korean is irritated about the media spreading stories about her dad's well-being smile, has additionally debilitated remarks on her Instagram. So it appears as though she no longer needs to draw in with fans posing inquiries about Janie. Now concerning fans, they're really separated on the cases made by AJ Benza and Dr. Drew. And keeping in mind that some of them are blaming these two for spreading paranoid fear days, others are saying it's ludicrous that nobody's permitted to address anything while simultaneously being informed that Jamie is fine and playing pickleball. One fan tweeted Twitter ought to do a decisive victory and erase the records who are all Maxim. Jamie Foxx is presently deadened and blind from a blood coagulation in his cerebrum subsequent to getting the coronavirus immunization. Who else concurs? And another Twitter client said, I trust Jamie Foxx sues the F out of AJ Benza and Drew anyway. Others are saying James' family can't anticipate that the media and fans should quit estimating when it was Corin who shared the main update. When Jane was hospitalized and guaranteed he was recuperating, I think the primary wellspring of premium on the subject stems from his girl chipping in his hospitalization to us. In any case, one fan said that by itself caused it to appear to be intense all along. And presently fans are sensibly concerned absolutely no part of this must be broadcasted. And someone else composed, so first Jamie Foxx was evidently playing pickleball, now he's incapacitated and blind. I'm not standing by listening to no one, not even his family, until we see his face. What will be will be. Nevertheless, what is your opinion? Pretty much every one of these.